There's nothing quite beats unearthing something that you know hasn't been seen for maybe 1500 years. So every time we've come up here we've unearthed a little bit more of the story and it all starts to fit together. You've seen the history of the whole estate and the history of this hill unfold itself in front of you.
So here we've uncovered a hearth which has been almost fully excavated, and there was a thin layer of charcoal in the hearth, so it's probably only been used for a short period of time. And we've sampled that charcoal to get a date for the hearth. Yeah, so our role as the archaeologist from University of Aberdeen is to just lead the excavation and make sure it's done to professional standards. I like to let people get on with it and just kind of keep an eye on them. They're doing very well, so it's quite easy.
I'm a volunteer here. We are digging East Lomond Hill Fort, and we're on what is probably the outer wall of the entire structure. And what we're looking for really is dates, and it builds on previous excavations. This is the fourth time excavations have been done up here.
This is the first excavation we are undertaking in the kind of post-COVID era, if you like. It's also the first excavation since our lead archaeologist, Dr. Oliver O'Grady, passed away tragically in 2020. This is a new partnership. This is a partnership with Aberdeen University, and in particular their Comparative Kingship project, which is looking at hill forts in Scotland and in Ireland, and looking at the similarities and looking at the differences.
So we're here at East Lomond Hill Fort. It's about 1500 to 1700 years old, and that's a time period in Scottish archaeology where we have very, very little information.
All the archaeology that we do on the estate is community archaeology. Like many other things we do, we want it to be open. We want it to be something that engages local people, that brings them onto the estate.
I mean, I've been in Fife 20 years, and this was always one of my favourite places to come up and look. And then one day I saw a notice saying that they're going to start excavating, looking for volunteers. So I put my name down. 8 years later, we're still digging. Most of the people here didn't have any archaeological experience when they started. And in previous digs there's been a lot of community involvement, so school kids coming up, getting a taste for archaeology, getting a taste for the landscape, understanding what's up here, something they might never have even really thought about.
I've never ever met anybody that isn't super friendly and lovely on a dig, and it's just the weather's been lovely. We've found loads of interesting things so far, which is always exciting on first day, so yeah, it's been great.
It's a community spirit once you get in the trench. Everybody's sort of digging for the same reasons, so it doesn't really matter if what you find, it's what's going on round about you.
I think it's really important that the locals really know about their local history. They help us dig, but also we get to share our knowledge about how to dig.
If a huge shout goes up, you'll know somebody's found something. We're not about looking for treasure, we're about understanding history. And obviously if we find artefacts, that makes a big difference to our understanding of history.
This year, although the aim primarily is to get dating evidence, we're also, as you would expect, beginning to uncover material. A lovely piece of shell bracelet, probably for a child, a lovely gaming piece. And we see this kind of gaming through the Roman period as well, and into the Viking period. And one of the latest finds in this lovely sunny afternoon has been a lovely fragment of crucible.
They were saying that it's always the new person that finds the best find of the day. And there's a little blob still inside it which James has said they can send away to have it analysed. They think maybe silver.
I think it's really important to be connected to your land and your heritage and the things that are around you, especially in like the modern age when everybody sits at home on their computers and they're not really doing anything. But if you go out and you actually get stuck into things, it's so much more enriching.
So I absolutely feel connected to the land in Fife. The chance to actually dig amongst the land is just an added opportunity not to be missed.
I'd much prefer this than to be sitting at a desk on a calculator like my partner.
Imagining what this might have looked like, trying to visualise a 3-metre wall running around this site, hive of activity, people metalworking, smithing, raising cattle. You can't see it now, but you can imagine it. And I think what you understand by doing archaeology is that these people were no different to us. They didn't have the same technology, but they had the same hopes and ideas, and they made their lives up here. And to be in touch with, you know, that continuity of history, that continuity, how this landscape's been used, literally, we're sitting in history.
Realising how these people stewarded the land. How come they were productive and they survived, but they had such a low impact. Now, as we looked at climate change and other challenges in our environment and how we are affecting our environment, things like that are important, and there's lots that we can learn. It's a privilege to be involved here, and it's something to be treasured, because I want to be seen as a good ancestor. I want people to look back on the work that we've done here and say, these men and women did some really interesting things that helped us to understand what it is that is special about this place.